it's a Sigma Cine, super beefy lens, super heavy. Something like 4 bands, not gonna lie. Costs a lot of money. What's going on, guys? Today, I'm going to be breaking down what I bring with me on most of my wedding shoots, what I bring on most of my commercial shoots, just everything in general. And I'm gonna show you guys how I pack that in. If you guys haven't seen this, this is my SAC V2 bag. Shout out to SAC for them to send this to me. This is the bag in which I bring everything. So just to give you guys context of actually how massive this thing is, like this thing holds everything. This is how I packed up for the wedding that I shot this past, actually last month. It was a $7,000 wedding, so I had to bring the big boys with me. This is exactly what I brought with me and actually how I configure my whole entire setup. To kind of start everything off, I bring this 20mm Sony G lens. It's not G Master, it's just the regular G. It's a great prime to get a lot of like establishing shots and stuff. Can't find the lens cover for this right now, but usually there's a lens cover on this. For the sake of the video, I'm just gonna show you how I packed it. So I put that lens in there first. The second lens that I bring with me is actually a lens that everybody seems to want. And I know for me, I wanted it really, really bad. And it's this Laowa 10mm lens. This is another lens that I use a lot for establishing wide shots and making sure you get a lot of those fun party shots. Yeah, I packed this lens in there as well. That is the second lens that's in this bag. The next thing that I bring with me is actually a set of in-ears. If you guys don't bring in-ears on your shoots, you definitely don't want to ensure the footage that you got has everything that's in it. I think that once I started adding in-ears to my kit was the moment in which I knew that I could actually deliver exactly what I said I'm gonna deliver, because nothing's worse than coming home and checking your footage and the audio is cooked and there's nothing you can do about it. So I bring this Shure, I think it's the 915s, and I actually put them here in this slot right here. Another set of things that I do bring, especially for weddings, I bring a Sony Handycam. This Sony Handycam I got for like 20 bucks. This is the one that I bring usually to capture this style of footage in my wedding videos. I'm gonna put this, actually, I'm gonna pack this right over here. Yeah, I can put this all the way at the bottom. I carry around this charger pack, this pack in itself. I'll have everything linked down below for you guys to go get it yourselves. But I bring this. This has sections for 4 batteries. Usually I'll just have all 4 of these plugged in, put them in there, and then where it goes in here is actually down here. I try to lay everything as best as I can, like flat, so that there's more, you know, vertical space, or I guess width space. So I have this just mainly to clean my sensors. I pack this as well in the little zipper. And then obviously I have my cloth. I got this from Rode, shout out Rode. But the next set that I go into doing, this is in no particular order, it's just what I see and what can fit, is these Hollyland mics. I've actually switched, I know, no, don't sue me. But I used to only use Rode mics. I never got into the DJI ecosystem. I've used them before, but ever since Hollyland sent me these mics, dude, these are absolutely ridiculous. Like, just the form factor of it. Sorry, this probably started recording on this one, but I have one on me right now. But just the form factor of this mic, it's so tiny, and it's just like a great microphone overall. 32-bit float, internal recording. You can actually attach lavaliers in it, obviously connect to your phone. Like, Hollyland has stepped up their game so much with these. This is my favorite mic set that I've actually ever owned, honestly. I praise them so much on my second channel on Instagram. I've actually decided to minimize my FX3 rig down to just one of these V-mount things. I don't even know what they're called, but I guess a V-mount plate that attaches onto the FX3s. So now I don't necessarily like to use rails as much, because I never really had that big of a use case unless I'm using follow focus, and most of the lenses I've been using recently have all been autofocus. Unless I'm doing more stuff that has to do with cinematics where I need rails, I just use the rails on my FX9. And then this is super easy to pack in, so I can actually just like pack it in right here. Actually, no, I'm gonna pack it in pretty tight. So I actually like using this little section for stuff like this that's super thin, that can just kind of rest at the bottom. Then I pack in my 99 watt V-mount battery. This battery is, as you can tell, it is actually like super beat up because we use our gear here. Shout out to the SMK logo right here. We use our gear here. So this V-mount battery is what I use mostly all my shoots. This helps the FX3 last all day. I'm gonna put this in my battery section. I might actually move these Hollylands into a mic section because I do end up, you know, using a lot of different mics. This is on my camera currently, but I do have Peter McKinnon ND filters. I do put them up here as far as filters go. I actually have this light that I use pretty often. This is the video light. We put this on top of the FX3, especially for a lot of wedding scenes where it gets really, really dark, especially for the send-off. We love using this light. This is a CCT bicolor as well as RGB. So this is a really cool, like it's super powerful pocket light from Zhiyun. Once again, I'll be linking everything down into the description below. I packed that in here. I'll probably put this in its own section as well, down here at the bottom. This is one of the lenses that I use. It is a PL mount lens. Yeah, it's a Sigma Cine, super beefy lens, it's super heavy. This lens is like 4 bands, not gonna lie. Costs a lot of money. It's already attached to its PL to E mount adapter. I don't know if that's bad for the lens, but I usually just keep it on there anyways. So yeah, we'll tuck this one down here. I use a Viltrox PL to E mount adapter. Take this FX30 right here. What's really cool is that we have this here and I can actually fit it without breaking it down, just straight in there, right there, perfectly. Right, and then what we can do is actually for the photo camera, which is the A7 R5. We call this a walking lick. I can just take this camera in itself, put it right here as well. So 2 cameras fitting perfectly here inside the SAC V2 bag. I also carry around with me a lot of vintage lenses. This one specifically is a 70 to 210. It does a macro as well. And I like using these vintage lenses on a tripod just because of what, you know, the imaging that comes off of these. Like it just looks great. It's a Vivitar Series 1. For any of you guys that like don't have enough to spend on, you know, a really, really, really expensive lens, I do recommend getting this M42 mount and start, you know, playing around with these lenses. They're really, really cool. Obviously, gotta bring your small rig multi-tool. I put that up here as well. I have literally so many, like I have so many of these. Backup chargers, gotta bring this just in case. Got this fisheye lens right here from Ask Story. A lot of you guys have asked, how do I get a lot of my fisheye shots? I get it from this lens right here. So I'm gonna pack this one up here as well. Usually I'll bring another one of these film lenses. These are really nice, honestly. I'm not gonna lie. These are super nice, but I don't think I'm gonna bring it for this specific trip. For the FX3, what I'll usually put on is this Comica wireless mic, VM40. I'll put the link in the description as well. This records 32-bit float and is wireless, no need for an XLR. So if you do have any second shooters or anybody that wants to just like shoot with you, or you want to go capture some Foley sound or some audio from people, Comica is a great option for that. The sound quality is pretty good actually. What I like to do is I like to take a lot of, I don't know if you guys do this, but I take a lot of the cushioning, and especially if I have lenses in here, I'll just like use it to support so that, you know, it doesn't break. And I have 2 of these, so I store these down here. Then I have my bag, my Tascam bag that has all the lavaliers. So if you do weddings, obviously, you know, you need the white lavalier, the black lavalier. We got our skin tape that we have in here. And so I will pack this as well onto this side right here. I will also bring in any extra XLRs just in case. I usually bring in my field recorder, plug this into the, I guess the mixer at weddings, DJ mixer and stuff like that, plug that in with a micro SD, record that 32-bit float audio. This stuff is actually so great. You literally just don't miss audio. That's like the biggest thing when it comes to packing for weddings and events in general, is that audio is 60% of the video. And if you have none of it, it's really, really hard to actually charge, 1, the prices that you need to charge, 2, actually provide good quality work, it's just really difficult to do that. Then another thing that I do, which some people may agree, some people may disagree, but I do this just mainly off the pure fact of like, you can never be too sure, like I said, with audio. And what I will do is I will pack the second pack of Rhodes. Like I said, Hollyland, those are my go-tos. But just in case something does break, something doesn't work, I will carry a second set. A lot of times, like, redundancy is probably going to be your best friend when it comes to filmmaking. It's just so much easier. Even if, like, for example, the mic doesn't fit properly on the dress or it shows too much, like, you just got to have a backup just in case for things just like that. Another thing, I got this little silicone thing that wraps around the XLR so that it fits actually in the handle, just like the one up here. And yeah, I have another set of in-ears that I'll also pack for the just in case. This set of in-ears is a pretty expensive pair of in-ears. I actually need to get these fixed. These are West Tone Audio in-ears. They feel great actually. But I'll bring this second set of in-ears as well, just as a backup just in case a set of in-ears does break. If you have the opportunity to get backups, get backups. Never neglect that. Extra lavaliers as well to put actually in my Tascam bag. Usually I just put all my lavaliers in here. I know it's a cable mess. It's so hot in this room, not gonna lie. But yeah, this is the Tascam bag with all the audio that goes in there. You guys are probably wondering what's this big section for. This big section is just to hold my FX9. Of course, I have it right here. Crazy that it fits. Like, it's actually insane that it fits. But yeah, that's literally what I pack inside my bag. Of course, another thing that goes in here is gonna be my laptop, all batteries for the FX9, SD cards, all that type of stuff, storage, whatever it is. I actually do bring a journal with me just in case, because I do like to write whenever I do travel for a lot of these shoots. This is literally how I pack up my bag for wedding. Like I said, weddings, events, all sorts of things throughout the year, and it's exactly how I am going to be doing it for the rest of 2026 as well. Yes, and if you guys are wondering the weight of the bag, it's not as bad as you think. Like, with the FX3 inside of here, like, it does look a little crazy. But nonetheless, it is all worth it to be able to carry all my gear and not have to carry, like, because granted, I will still carry a Pelican, but at the same time, I don't want to have to freaking sacrifice luggage space when I can just hold everything on my backpack anyways. Because guess what? I'm not checking in a Pelican, almost never. I want the gear as close to me as possible, at least the main gear that I need for the shoot, just in case anything happens on the way there. And I'd rather have all my equipment on my back. Now, when it comes to safety, you can lock the bag, get yourself some key locks and all that stuff during travel. So if you're traveling to like a really unsafe place. Another really cool thing about the bag too is that it's very TSA friendly. You just open the big pouch whenever they ask. They just can look into it. It's super wide, so they can see through it on the the cameras and everything. So that is everything that I put into my bag. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.